Welcome to the Creative REI podcast, your go-to hub for all things real estate, business, life, travel, etc. I'm your host, Dante, joined by my co-host, Ed, both real estate professionals on a mission to connect and educate. This podcast is sponsored by PropStream, the most trusted provider of comprehensive real estate data nationwide. What is popping, people? It's your boy Dante with the Creative REI. If you are wondering why I am so calmly speaking right now, it's because of our next guest has me incredibly calm with something we call breathwork. If you guys have never heard of breathwork, we're going to talk about it a little bit more today. But today's guest, Miss Michelle Perez.
Hello.
Oh. Like that?
I did.
So Michelle is a real estate entrepreneur. She started off as a real estate agent who then also became a sub-2 student, shout out Pace Morby, who then did mentorship with Pace Morby. So she's in the, what do you call that?
Sub-2 community.
It's like the close, what do you call it? When you pay the extra money?
The exclusive. Yeah,
She's an
the
exclusive sub-2 student.
Yeah.
Who then used her money from real estate into creating her business now, which is breathwork.
Yeah.
This is crazy. Tell the audience a little bit what breathwork is.
Yeah, so breathwork is a great modality to use to release any stressors that have lain dormant within our bodies.
Mm-hmm.
So we use just the power of our own breath and our body's own innate wisdom to release somatically what we would need to release in our bodies.
And that is why I am extremely calm today. We did breathwork today, and man, I'm chilling. I think we need to do this more often.
Yeah.
Now, crazy story about how you got into breathwork.
Yeah. So how I got into breathwork, I was going through a transition personally. And then, so I went to my very first breathwork session.
Transition personally, meaning something happened to you in your life.
I was going through a divorce. So, yeah. So for me, it was just a big transition. And then I saw this advertisement for breathwork and I was like, hey, I'm going to try it out. And so I went to my very first class. It was in a ballroom. And I wasn't expecting what came through in that session. For me, it was just really profound. I was like, like sweating, like just
pretty
visuals
intense.
were coming through. Like, yeah, just so much was happening, like sensational wise. And then, just all these messages kept coming through for me in that session. And then afterwards, it was an hour session. I was just like, what was that? And how does like nobody really know about this kind of thing?
So is there a class for this? You studied it?
Yeah. So then I ended up researching it, and then I ended up getting licensed by Somatic Breathwork out of Austin, Texas. And so that program just taught us all about like the somatics and, just our nervous system, activating the sympathetic, parasympathetic, how to release different forms of trauma and just, what that looks like.
Pause. Sympathetic, what was it?
And parasympathetic.
What are the difference? Talk to me about that.
So like our sympathetic is our fight or flight mode, like where we're on the go, go, go. And so since we're in this society of constantly on our phones, on social media, it's constant go, go, go. So we're activating our sympathetic constantly.
Okay.
And so what we don't do in our society is activate our parasympathetic, which is our rest and digest, and what we want to be bringing in as well too. And so with my modality, what we do in the beginning is we go and release the sympathetic to get all of that emoting out, to get it released out somatically, shaking, crying, emotion, whatever wants to come through, anger, could be joy, and then we go and bring in the and activate that parasympathetic and try to bring in what we want to bring in and embody. So like, how do you want to feel? What are you thankful for? What gratitude you have to give?
The gratitude was mine, letting go of whatever it be, unforgiveness, or I don't know, something you've done in the past, or just something you've been hanging on to a long time that you need to probably just let go. This is enough of this is going to help you do that, which obviously the more you practice it, the easier it becomes. Right. Now, the story about how you got, not how you got into it, but how you now transition this into kind of a very Oh, it's kind of like skyrocketing into something
Yeah.
huge,
So I mean, so pretty much you and I connected.
right?
And it was I had a deal that
Mhm.
was a probate deal
Mhm.
that was referred out to me,
Mhm.
and I knew that I couldn't put it on market. I have my license as well,
Mhm.
and then so then we started talking, and
We
you're
collaborated on a
yeah,
deal, and you closed your first deal
and I
with
closed
me.
my first
I helped you
wholesale
close your
deal.
first deal. You hear that? And she, see, you guys, we're
He
trying
was
to
the
tell you, you
man.
join the community. We're here to help you close your first deal.
Yeah,
It's a win-win situation. We split that,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
We split the deal together. Now, the one thing I'll tell you guys is you can't do this by yourself. Number one. Number two,
It's true.
um, don't be afraid to break bread with other people, because when you start taking care of other people, they're going to take care of you. And so you're still trying to get your first deal and you're trying to do it on your own. Let this be a sign right here that maybe you should not do it by yourself. You should maybe try to reach out and bring some value to somebody. So that's my thought. So we closed our first deal. We made I think it was a 30K assignment that we split. And now what has happened
Yeah.
and
So then,
transpired since then?
so what I use those funds to purchase my first ballroom to
Mhm.
host my first event, and so that's what I did at the JW Marriott in Clearwater Beach,
Yeah.
and then that
Shout out
started.
to the JW and Clearwater Marriott. Y'all,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
The JW is, yeah. That's, if you ever been
Which
to Clearwater Beach, stay at the JW. I highly recommend it.
yeah, so then that spiraled into me starting to do them even like on a bigger scale.
Mm-hmm.
So then like not even a weekend after that
Mm-hmm.
ballroom that I hosted,
Mm-hmm.
I got invited out to Colombia, and that was at Pablo Escobar's old mansion. And so
What?
yeah,
So you were in Pablo Escobar's old mansion
yeah.
doing breath work for people.
Well, and not just like anybody, it was all these like influencers that were flying out to Colombia to get some footage done.
Mm-hmm.
And so yeah, so it was like a really cool opportunity for me to go out there to get some exposure, to
Mm-hmm.
also help people through anything that they've been going through. And it was a
Mm-hmm.
really powerful time. I'm glad I
Yeah.
did. I
Yeah.
learned a lot, and then also was able to help, quite a bit of people that I'm still really close friends with now too.
So
So
how would you say you're monetizing this breath work? Is it a pay per person? Is it like, hey, you can pay for group classes? How's that go?
yeah, so it's per person right now,
Mm-hmm.
and so I'm actually linking up with the JW Marriott
Mm-hmm.
and Clearwater Beach and doing it as a more of a corporate structure of what
Mm-hmm.
that's going to look at, but it's going to be per person.
Okay.
And then doing it for group business, there'll be like a tier system as well.
Okay. Now,
Yeah,
let me ask you this privately. Let's say somebody wanted to invite you out to their home and do it with their significant other. Do you have a charge for that?
yeah, yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
so you
So
do that as
yeah,
well.
I can do that as well.
Okay.
Yeah,
Cool.
absolutely. Yeah.
So from there, do you have like a price point, or is it like kind of all over the place? Are you trying to figure that out? Where are we at with price points?
So right now, I do 77 one-on-ones, and
Hmm.
then I do 55 like
Groups.
group business.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, and then the groups are typically how big?
So the one that the Marriott's that we're planning on doing
Hmm.
is only 28, because this time we are bringing in silent disco headphones for more of an
Silent
yeah,
disco
it's going to
headphones.
be for more of an
Ooh.
internalized process. So then that way people can go more internal and then just really focus on their process, because sometimes people can get a little distracted. So yeah, I'm excited for
That
that.
sounds, yeah. I think this is definitely so. This is kind of like, for me, it looks like hot yoga, right? Or just yoga in general. So you go and you join a class. You guys lay there. You do some, breathing. Um, you're familiar with Wim Hof. It's very
Yeah.
familiar. It's like similar to Wim Hof, except for there's definitely a guidance,
Yes.
I would say,
Yeah.
on this part. Where Wim Hof, you're just breathing.
Yeah.
That's it. Um, Side note, and I'm just throwing this out there, okay? With the whole, psychobilin, what do you call it? Psilocybins and
Psilocybin. Yeah. Yeah.
psychoactive,
Yeah.
psilocybins,
Yeah.
psychoactives, magic mushrooms.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, I'm just throwing this out there. If maybe we were microdosing mushrooms and doing these breathing, is this something that can happen in the near future? Is this something that could even be possible? Is it not necessary to do?
It's
while breathing?
so I mean everyone's different, you know what I mean? So
Mhm.
I would love to eventually get to that point where I'm doing like a little micro breath sessions with people.
Micro breath is what you
Yeah,
call it?
yeah, micro breath
Yeah.
sessions. But I mean, it's not necessary for everyone because
Mhm.
it's really powerful just to breathe on your own. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? Just to do it on your own.
My face got fuzzy when I
But
was
some people
breathing.
need that like that extra like barrier to help them release and let go and stuff. And so with the
Okay.
heart opening medicine, like a mushroom
Mhm.
medicine, like it can be really powerful for them to be able to open up that heart space to
Maybe more than
release.
they should. Right. What would be some of the craziest experiences that you've had while doing breath work for other people?
So, I mean, I can name like two of them off the top of my head. I had this one guy who was like 10 years on antidepressants.
Mhm.
And so he couldn't feel, you know what I mean? So he was trying all these different modalities to try and feel again. And
Mhm.
so, he went to like mushroom ceremonies and
Mhm.
ayahuasca ceremonies and all these different things. And
Mhm.
it still just wasn't clicking. So we did an hour session.
Mhm.
And so by the end of that hour session, this 40-year-old man is just bawling his eyes out. And he was like, Michelle, I can finally feel, And so, like,
Mhm.
just like a breakthrough like that after
Mhm.
so many years of not being able to, and for just to be able to connect finally with himself because he was just so mind and body disconnected.
Mhm.
It was just so beautiful to just help, just a fellow person, just walking him,
Mhm.
walking each other home kind of deal.
Right. Right. What
So
about is that your
that was
only?
no. So like, there's another woman that I had, and so she had an out of body experience, and so she was in a sunflower field walking with God, and so she had to pass, three different people. She had to pass.
Pause.
Yeah.
She wasn't really doing this as an out of body experience, we'll
This
say.
yeah,
Okay. Out of body experience walking through a flower field,
sunflower field with God.
sunflower field with God.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so
This is
then
getting deep.
yeah, so she was literally walking with him and she said she had to pass three people. So she had to pass her mom, her dad.
Who's passed?
They're still alive.
Oh, they
But
are still alive.
she's walking past them in her visual
Okay.
as she's out of body.
Okay.
So mom, dad, and then an ex boyfriend
Mhm.
that used to abuse her.
Mm.
And then at the very end was a gate and it had two locks on it. And
Mhm.
she knew she was a key to one of those locks, but
Mhm.
she looks to God and she's like, where's the other key? And he goes, you're not done yet. And she comes out of the breath work. And
Mm.
then, so then after that happens, you could tell that she saw something because she was just like, I was not expecting that. I was not expecting that. So then I asked her, what's just, why was that so significant for you? And she told me that like just a couple days prior to that breath work that she was going to commit suicide.
Oh wow.
So it was like literally like her higher self, God, whoever it is for her
Yeah.
coming to her like, you're not done yet. Like, get back up. Like, it's you
Wow.
still have work to do.
That's profound. I feel like this might be a breakthrough for some people, and I think for other people, they might be too scared to want to even try this.
Yeah, it's like a happy medium. So like that's where it's interesting. Even in the corporate structure, I have actually like gone down to like 30-minute sessions
Mhm.
just because it's a little bit more digestible for like people to try. You know what I mean?
It's
For the
kind of
first
like
time.
microdosing.
You can call it that. Yeah, yeah.
So okay, I think that's cool. So Pablo Escobar's mansion. Any
Yeah.
influencers that you'd like? Your favorite one that you worked with?
So yeah, I mean, I had, I'm trying to think. Like, I really enjoyed CJ Sparks. She was great.
Okay.
I really enjoyed, I mean, even in Tampa, I got to do like Mr. Olympia. He was like
Okay.
super charismatic, like
Okay.
loved doing him and just being open to the like
Mhm.
actual process.
Yeah.
This other guy, Gavin, too,
Mhm.
Johnson.
Mhm.
And then in Columbia, you had like Amber. She was a hoot too.
Mhm. Amber, what?
um, I forget her last name right
Ugh. Cut this out, Mike.
now. So
Cut
sorry.
this part
Sorry.
out.
I forgot her name. I was like, I forgot.
Okay,
Sarah
so
Ames. There we go. I couldn't remember some of these people, so I was like,
it does. So it's been quite a bit. Obviously, this is there's clearly a movement for this because it's now being brought to you by, or it's being brought to the attention of other people of influence that are now shouting you out, which is then creating more opportunities for
yeah,
you.
yeah,
On top of the fact that you're doing a corporate structure where you've tapped into the hotel industry
yeah. That's a
and
whole other
now getting
avenue.
them to do a whole thing of breath work. And if let's just say Marriott's are typically owned privately, but then you have the corporate ones.
Mhm.
This is a corporate Marriott.
Yeah,
So imagine a corporate
corporate managed.
approves you having breath work at, let's just say, 5 different locations. That's a big deal.
It's huge. Then you
Yeah.
get other practitioners underneath you, and you're creating opportunity and
Mhm.
entrepreneurship for other people that can get
That's
started.
crazy. So you started off from doing real estate to now you got your own business of getting people breathing.
Yeah.
and it's all
possibility
translated
to.
right. I like to say it's definitely given towards real estate, towards helping you, geared towards getting to that point, because had you had not had the capital you needed to
Exactly.
start it.
No, it's so true.
Yeah.
And I mean, like, even just in the mentorships that I'm still in with real estate that I still am working with too, I got invited through Pace's sub 2 community. I was also branched off to another mindset mentorship as well with
Okay.
Keston,
Okay.
which is all for real estate and investors that are involved in that. But
Mhm.
now he has me coming to his mentorship and then hosting online for him.
So you're doing breath work
for
for investors, real estate investors. So let's just say, example, if I'm hosting a conference or if I have a private mastermind, and in the middle of the mastermind, you want to just set the maybe tone for the mood in the morning.
Yeah.
They can hire you
Yep.
to have everybody come in, do breath work. It might be weird to them, right? Because it's like, why are we all laying
foreign,
down?
yeah.
Why are we laying down on the floor? But it could potentially set the precedence for the mastermind. So
Yeah.
if you're a real estate investor and you've considered maybe doing something like this, and maybe you want to look into it and it's something that you want to do, reach out to Michelle. Michelle, where do they find you at?
So firewomanhealing.com.
Okay.
You can also find me on my Instagram at firewomanhealing33 on Instagram. But yeah, you can find me either one of those places.
Combo practitioner. What's
Combo.
that? Combo?
Yeah.
Was that like dance?
So no, so that's indigenous medicine. It's peptide therapy.
Oh, peptide therapy?
Yeah.
Like steroids for men?
No, it's not quite steroids, but
I've
it's
been
definitely
hearing-
rejuvenates the cells like on a cellular level.
I hear
So it's a good gut cleanse.
men are doing peptides for like in exchange for steroids.
Oh, I mean, it could. I mean, it definitely could be. So, like peptide therapy, it's like it literally like this medicine is like rejuvenating the cells like on a cellular level. So, like
almost
I had
stem cells.
yeah, very similar to stem cell replacement. Yeah, so
Ooh.
I had my trainer actually owned a stem cell company, and then he studied the frog underneath the microscope and everything, and seeing what it was doing and just how powerful it was. He like sold his whole stem cell company and devoted his life to the frog. And
wow. So that's why the frog's there.
Yeah.
Wow.
But it's a powerful modality. It helped me.
So rewind to mentorship. I want to touch on something, because there are a lot of free communities out there where you can learn how to do real estate. You can learn how to probably do this breath work. But I can tell you right now, the free stuff is going to be good. It's going to help you get to what you need to do, but it's not going to level you up on the scalability. Scale. It's not scalable,
Yes.
right? So this is where, because when I first got into real estate, I didn't think I wanted to pay for it either. I was like, I could just figure it out. Power of Google, online. I can go to YouTube, right? But to get in the room with people that are doing better than you, number one, or doing what you want to do, you got to pay to get in sometimes.
You do.
Now, granted, there's going to be every once in a while you're going to get free access to that person, but that free access is only going to limit you to so much. So, how do you feel about paying for mentorships? Do you feel it's worth it? What were some benefits from you if it was, etc.?
Yeah, I mean, for me, I have paid for my mentorships, like almost everything that I've done, and they have like in some way up leveled me in some kind of way. You know what I mean? Because you're in a room with people that are just that know already. You know what I mean? Like what you don't know. Right. So it's like, why not utilize that though? Why not be in a community that already does that saves you so much time?
Right.
And in that way you can actually capitalize on your gifts of like what you know and are strong at, right?
Right.
So it's like, I don't know. For me, it was worth it. I started off in paying into like Pace Morby's sub 2 community, and then like I said, went into Keston's mastermind in there. And from that though, I have
grown into something,
right?
Yeah.
Because even with Keston's masterminds, opened up a whole,
with the influencers and stuff. So here's the way I look at it. So let's just say we get a free group, because I'm a part of some free groups, and I'm not knocking free groups. They're good. Yeah. They work. Yeah. But the conversation you're going to have with somebody in a free group who maybe is new and trying to figure out how to get their first deal versus a high-level individual who's got multi-million dollars that I get to sit down and have a conversation with, those conversations are very, very different.
Very different.
Yeah. Very different. Yeah. And those high-level questions, for me, those high-level conversations are very valuable in the sense that we're not having a conversation for no reason. There's almost like an intention in the conversations we're having.
Yeah.
That like you just can't help but get leveled up.
Right.
Right. And most of the time, in order to get in those type of conversations, you have to get in the room. And in order to get in the room, you have to pay.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's like, and it's hard, you know what I mean? Of course, like, you know, at first you're just like, you're not sure, but like, why wouldn't you want to like invest in you too, though, in a way, you know what I mean? Like, it's an investment in you at the end of the day.
I
You know what I
like
mean?
that.
So it's
No,
like,
it's true. I just say that because there are some people that go back and forth. Oh, paying for mentor. I mean, there's people out there scamming you now. Hey, we're
sure.
gonna
Yeah.
charge you for this, and so I get that. But there's actually people that are bringing you genuine value, or
Yeah.
maybe maybe you just like the person so much that you want to invest in them to invest in yourself.
Yeah.
Right? Like I've had people where I just like them. I just genuinely liked. I'm like, I like,
Yeah.
maybe they look good on Instagram or whatever, and I was
Yeah.
like, man, I vibe with you. I like your vibe. Blah blah blah. Like, I'll invest in you,
Yeah.
right? And so, but there hasn't been one thing that I've done as far as paying for mentorships that has never steered me wrong. I might have already known some of the information, but there's always something
Yeah.
that you can gain from it. So, what's the next steps for Fire Healing Woman now?
So the next is I have my proposal with Marriott for the corporate structure. So hopefully getting that locked in once I get.
When's that supposed to be?
Very soon. I guess it's
Okay.
really just based upon like their approval at that point. So
Okay.
like they're helping me. I have to like give them all the information. They're helping me structure it in their like corporate writing of like how they need it to be shown, and then it gets sent off. They said
What is stopping them from just stealing your idea and then putting somebody in your place on an hourly basis?
I mean, that's a valid point, but I mean, who's going to do it for an hourly basis?
They might get. That's true.
You know what I mean?
What if there's a training they put them
like,
through? Yeah, that's true.
Good luck. Like,
Something to think about, though.
I know it could be.
Sign this NDA.
Yeah.
Okay, so what else? You got anything else? That's pretty much it. You got any ideas, Mike? No? Oh, okay, there you go.
Yeah. That's Mr.
All right.
Olympia right there, though.
Mr. Olympia's laying down on the
Right
floor.
there.
There you go.
That's
Oh,
him.
yeah. Look,
He's massive.
swole. Super swole. Okay, so
Massive.
is that outside on the beach? Oh, that's
Yes.
the JW.
That's JW. Yeah.
And what are they playing in there? Is that the music that you
That's
play?
my music and then my cues and everything
So
like that.
let me give my experience real quick, because
Yeah.
I did this, and this is definitely not something that is usual for me, right? My type of release is I go run. I go to the beach, I go surf, I work out, kind of push my body, where this is more of like relaxing, breathing intensely, and it's crazy. I don't even know how to explain it, but it's like your whole body can feel when you do the breathing. So, it's, for me, it's a different experience, but I know when I finished it, I was the calmest I've ever been. And that's what I need. I need that calmness, because anybody who knows me, I'm kind of like, what up? I'm Dante, blah, 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 right? So every once in a while, I need to like,
Let it go.
chill. Yeah.
And
so this is a good way to chill. So, guys, you looking to chill out? You looking to break through at something? You need to breathe it out. Hit up your girl, Michelle Perez. Fire Healing Women. If you're thinking about booking her, make sure you use my code. No, I'm kidding. We should, though. We should have a code. I'm going to start an affiliate marketing from this. If you guys heard about it from this show, you make sure you let her know.
Yes. And then we get a little...
I'm saying, though. But, guys, if you like today's episode, please like and subscribe. If you like Michelle, please give her a follow. Reach out to her in her DMs. She responds. And let's see if we can help her get this growing. Thank you for watching, and we are out.
Yes.